Hi guys, welcome! In the upcoming April patch update, another round of skill adjustments and balance tweaks will be introduced that will shake the meta. And in this video, we'll focus on the changes affecting the Gunslinger, Knight, Sage, Bard, and Dancer job. These classes are still not popular in the current meta, even with multiple buffs added in previous patch updates. Hopefully, these changes coming this month would be enough to bring up the usage rate of these classes in both PvE and PvP. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. First up, we have several buffs to the Gunslinger class. First, Carnage Capoeira, which is the primary offensive skill of the pistol build of Tyrants, will now deal double damage since the skill multiplier inherited from Desperado is increased from 40% to 80%. Second, the Rebellion passive skill Debilitating Shot has an additional effect wherein each hit reduces the enemy's abnormal status resist by 5% when using a pistol weapon. Since this effect can stack up to 10 times, it can effectively reduce a target's abnormal status resist by 50%. Third, the cooldown of the Tyrant buff skill The Rage of Tyrant has been reduced from 60 seconds to 30 seconds. This is a good optimization if you fail to kill an enemy throughout its 15-second duration. Fourth, the cooldown of the Tyrant buff skill Platinum Era has also been shortened from 30 seconds to 15 seconds. This will definitely improve the survivability of Tyrants as they can now reapply this defensive buff more often. And fifth, the casting range of the Tyrant debuff skill Execution will increase based on auto-attack range. Thus, it will be easier to apply this debuff on an enemy while maintaining a safe distance. The introduction of hero classes pretty much killed the dominance of Tyrants in 6v6 last year. Will these changes be enough to bring them back in the meta? Up next, let's dive into the buffs for the Knight class. First, all Dragon Breath skills, including Rune Knight's Dragon Breath and Dragon's Water Breath, as well as Rune Master's Magic Dragon Breath, will now have a 1-second cooldown and skill delay. This is a badly needed buff for MDB build Rune Masters, as it allows them to swap out their CD reduction gears in favor of more damage-oriented equipment, resulting to a higher and more consistent damage output. And second, the cooldown and skill delay of 100 Spears is also reduced to 1 second. However, given this skill's irrelevance in the current meta, I believe this buff is primarily planned for the benefit of new players in the Novice server. Up next, we have a few changes impacting the BOLTER build of Sage. First, the Sorcerer passive skill Sharpened Weapon has a newly added effect granting 1000 points of auto attack at max level. This means that Chronomancer's auto attacks can now deal higher damage. Second, the Sorcerer buff skill Magic Fist can now proc the Chosen Bolt up to 10 times throughout its 10-second duration. However, Sufficient Magic Energy Rune's third line effect already removes the proc limit for Magic Fist, making this change insignificant. Therefore, it seems that this change is primarily intended for the Novice server where the advanced rune system is not implemented. And third, the Auto-Spell Proficiency Acer node has been adjusted to raise the chance of auto-attacks triggering auto-spell effect from 2.5% to 10%. Hence, with the plus 16 Sage's Handbook upgraded to Tier 5, auto-spell's chance will be increased to 32.3%, with additional 5% chance on targets under abnormal status due to the set effect with Time Manipulator. Will these buffs be enough to improve the usage rate of Chronomancer's BOLTER build? And lastly, for the Bard and Dancer class, their Performance class passive skill now includes a new effect, amplifying the damage output for Arrow Vulcan by 10% for every skill level. So at max level 10, it will boost Arrow Vulcan's damage by 100%. However, in the current state of DPS performers, I find these buffs somewhat inconsequential. It's likely that this buff to Arrow Vulcan's damage is mainly aimed for new players or the Novice server. So that's it for the class balance adjustments for Gunslinger, Knight, Sage, Bard, and Dancer job, coming in the next update. What do you guys think about these changes? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, that's it for this video guys. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed watching this guide. If you're new here, I'd love for you to consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you back. Thank you for watching and see you in our next episode.